The Beast Wars cartoon from Mainframe had a pretty small cast of characters in the grand scheme of things. If you look at the Generation 1 cartoon from Sunbow, it was a huge menagerie of bots, cons, and aliens populating the galaxy. Mainframe kept the cast small mostly due to budget constraints. However, this allowed them to really develop and fully realize the crew of Maximals and Predacons that we see on screen. However, this didn't stop Hasbro from making a very wide and versatile toy line full of Predacons and Maximals that we would only see in expanded media. And one of those is the very generic but very fun Insecticon. Beginning in alt mode, Insecticon is a very eye-catching navy blue and lime green stag beetle. It's a great color combo, and I really appreciate the dark blue plastic used, as it has a metallic and marbled sheen that really makes it look like insect chitin. Insecticon looks pretty alright, but unfortunately he has next door to no articulation in beast mode, and no real gimmicks. The most interesting thing though is you can open up the elytra on his back, and you can see he has little jet boosters inside. These will come to play later, but it's nice to see mechanical detailing hiding under the bug mode. Much like the other 1996 Beast Wars basic figures, Insecticon is a flip changer. Flip down the head, and that's it. The rest springs into place.
That's it?
Yep, that's it. Outside of adjusting his arms and legs a little bit, he's ready to rock and roll. To get him ready for the Beast Wars, take out the two little jet boosters from his abdomen and combine them together to form a crossbow. In my opinion, the crossbow is a very fun accessory, as it has a very recognizable and interesting silhouette that you don't see too often in Transformers or even other robot genre fiction. Usually when you see crossbows, it's going to be in some sort of post-apocalyptic or Mad Max style setting where our characters have to scavenge for munitions and weaponry. And I think that kind of suits Insecticon, seeing as the Beast Wars are set on a prehistoric Earth where resources are scant for Cybertronians. Insecticon doesn't have a huge amount of surface detailing, but what's there looks pretty solid. He has a lot of the same insectoid elements make their way into robot mode, with these little pecs, and also a fun head sculpt that reminds me a lot of Merman from He-Man. My only real complaint is the fact that he has insect legs just hanging off willy-nilly, which is an unfortunate thing that happens with a lot of Beast Wars figures. Despite this though, he still has a pretty excellent range of posability and articulation, thanks to the ball joint engineering that was in vogue during the Beast era. So what's up with his name? After all, the Insecticons were actually a team of Decepticon insect transformers back in Generation 1. Well, the short answer is legal reasons.
You don't need double talk. You need blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. No habla español.
Well, we're not here to talk nonsense to blah blah blah.
Back in the 90s, Hasbro had a really nasty habit of not reusing or renewing names that are under trademark. This resulted in them losing the legal right to use some of the character names for toys and merchandise. Back in the early to mid 2000s, a lot of toys based off of Shock Wave would have to be called Shock Blast, and this is because they lost the rights to use the name. This is most likely why Insecticon was named Insecticon, to keep the trademark, and also it's an easy name for an insect robo. The original toy bio describes Insecticon as essentially the Predacon sentry, that he is usually on watch duty for the Predacon base. Sometimes he'll get into battle and nitty-gritty fights with the Maximals using his mandibles, which is kind of funny considering the toy does not actually have articulated mandibles. A very interesting oddity with Insecticon is the fact that at some point in the drafting process, he was going to be part of the Predacon cast in the Beast Wars cartoon. Now, there's not a huge amount of public information on the drafting process of Beast Wars, so we don't know how far Insecticon was in the production process. However, he is listed in the scripts for the episode Power Surge. The episode Power Surge really isn't very important in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty much just filler. All that happens is Terrorsaur discovers a cache of Energon and uses the power-up to usurp Megatron for control of the Predacons. Megatron kicks his ass at the end of the story anyway, so it all wraps up with a bow. The point of interest really comes with Waspinator. Now, Waspinator is a beloved fan-favorite character, and he has this notable quirk of speaking in the third person.
Waspinator under attack! Waspinator engage enemy! Waspinator terrorize!
This is the only episode where he doesn't.
Well,
Well, what?
if you're second in command, what is your command?
That's because production notes for this episode state that this dialogue was originally intended for Insecticon. So that does mean that he made it pretty far in production before getting axed at the last minute, and I can kind of understand why. He would be a little redundant to the Predacon cause, and considering how tight the cast already is, there's not really a space for him. Well, Insecticon might have been almost famous, but as it stands, he's still a pretty fun and interesting little figure in the Beast Wars range. Evil transforming bug robos is a proud tradition that goes all the way back to the War Radus from Diaclone, as well as the Devil Invaders from Machine Robo, plus of course the original G1 Insecticon crew. And Beast Wars Insecticon takes that torch and runs with it, making a fun, charismatic, and creepy crawly little figure.